couldn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her laughing. Not with me, but with him. The music from that party across town seemed to echo inside my head even though I wasn't there. I'd told her not to go. I'd begged, reasoned, and finally warned her. Not as a controlling husband, but as a man whose gut had been screaming for weeks that something wasn't right. But she went anyway. And by the next morning, my world was unrecognizable. It started with a dress. 2 weeks earlier, she'd stood in front of the mirror in our bedroom, wearing a black, sleeveless dress that I hadn't seen before. It clung to her in a way that made my throat dry, but not because it was beautiful, because it felt like armor for a battle I didn't understand. She caught my reflection watching her. "What?" she asked, smiling faintly. "Where'd you get that dress?" "Lena lent it to me," she said casually, adjusting her hair. "For the party next week. Remember? Tyler's birthday." Taylor. Her coworker. A name that had started to slip too often into our conversations lately. I frowned. "I thought that was a small office thing." "Yeah," she said. "But he's invited a few close friends. It's nothing serious." That night, when she kissed me before bed, I could taste distance in her lips. By the time the party approached, the unease had turned into something heavier, a feeling that lived in my chest, like a weight I couldn't exhale. I told myself I was overthinking. But then she started guarding her phone. Late-night texts. Laughter at messages she wouldn't show me. "Just work stuff," she said. "You wouldn't get it." And when I asked again about the party, she got defensive. "Why are you so paranoid, Evan? It's one night. Can I not have fun without you jumping to conclusions?" I remember standing in the kitchen staring at her, my wife of 5 years, wondering when fun had started sounding like escape. "Because I don't trust him," I said finally. "You talk about Tyler like he's some kind of saint. But I've seen the way he looks at you." She scoffed. "You're being ridiculous." "Am I?" I stepped closer. "If you respect me at all, don't go." She went quiet, her expression hardening. "Evan, you don't get to control me." "I'm not trying to," I said, my voice trembling despite me. "I'm trying to protect what we have." But she just grabbed her phone and walked away. That was the moment I knew. Deep down, something was already broken. The night of the party, she got ready like she was going on a date. Hair curled. Red lipstick. Perfume I hadn't smelled in years. When she walked out of the bedroom, I felt that same ache you get when watching someone you love walk toward danger, and you can't stop them. "I'll be back by midnight," she said, barely glancing at me. "You're still going?" She looked at me, exasperated. "Evan, I'm not a child. Stop making this a big deal." I wanted to argue, to say that every fiber of my being was telling me something bad was about to happen. But instead I just said quietly, "If you walk out that door tonight, things won't be the same." She stared at me for a long second, then grabbed her clutch and left. The sound of that door closing echoed longer than it should have. Midnight came and went. No text, no call, nothing. By 2 a.m., I was pacing the living room, staring at the silent phone on the table. I typed and deleted a dozen messages. "Are you okay? When are you coming home? Please just tell me you're safe." At 3:17 a.m., I heard her key turn in the lock. She stumbled in quietly, trying not to make noise. Her lipstick was gone. Her hair was messy. I could smell the alcohol before she even spoke. "Hey," she whispered when she saw me awake. "You're still up." I looked at her, really looked at her, and something inside me twisted. "Where were you?" "At the party, obviously," she said, slurring a little. "It ended hours ago." She froze, then sighed. "We went to Tyler's place after. Just a few people." "Stop looking at me like that." My jaw tightened. "Were you alone with him?" She laughed, bitterly. "God, Evan. Not everything is about your paranoia." But her eyes didn't meet mine when she said it. I didn't argue. I just stood there, watching her stumble toward the bedroom. When she fell asleep, I sat in the living room till the sun came up, listening to the silence that used to feel like peace, and now felt like the aftermath of something I couldn't yet name. The morning after, everything changed. I woke up to the sound of her shower running. Her phone was on the nightstand, still plugged in. For 5 years, I'd never once gone through her things. I believed trust meant not needing to. But that morning, my hands moved before my conscience could stop them. When I unlocked her phone, she'd never changed the passcode. My stomach dropped. Messages. Dozens of them. Not from coworkers. Not from friends. From him. Tyler. You looked incredible last night. Couldn't stop thinking about you. Her. Stop, you're going to get me in trouble. Tyler, worth it. Last night was perfect. You sure he didn't suspect? Her, he suspects everything. But I don't care anymore. My hands started shaking. Then I opened the photos. There it was. A picture of her, in that black dress, sitting on Tyler's lap at the party, his hand on her thigh. Another one of them kissing in a dimly lit corner. Every image felt like a knife. The shower stopped. I barely managed to lock her phone and set it back down before she came out wrapped in a towel, humming softly, like nothing had happened. She smiled when she saw me. Morning. I didn't smile back. Who's Tyler to you, really? Asked. Her face went pale. What? You heard me. Her towel slipped slightly as she clutched it tighter. Evan, I don't know what you think you saw. I saw enough. For a moment the mask cracked. I saw guilt flicker across her eyes, then defiance. So what if something happened? She said suddenly, her voice rising. You've been distant for months. You never listen, you never notice me. I just wanted to feel alive again. I stared at her, unable to breathe. You destroyed us for that? She looked away. Maybe we were already destroyed. That was the moment the anger drained out of me, replaced by something worse, emptiness. I didn't shout. I didn't cry. I just stood there while she packed a bag. I'm staying at Lena's for a few days, she said quietly. We both need space. I wanted to say something, anything that would make sense of it all. But there was nothing left to say. When she walked out that door again, it didn't echo this time. Just closed. The days that followed were a blur. Friends called. Family checked in. I told them we were taking a break. I couldn't bear to say the word affair. At night, I'd lie awake staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment, every smile, every kiss, every time I told her I trusted her. It wasn't just the betrayal that hurt. It was the realization that while I was fighting to keep us together, she was already gone. Then, a week later, she texted me. I'm sorry for everything. I didn't mean to hurt you. Tyler and we're figuring things out. I hope one day you can forgive me. I read it over and over until the words lost meaning. That night I deleted her number. Months passed. I sold the house. Moved into a smaller place on the edge of town. People say time heals, but I don't think that's true. Time just teaches you how to live with the scars. One evening I ran into Lena, her best friend, at the grocery store. She hesitated, then said, Evan, I just want you to know something. I looked at her, unsure I wanted to hear it. She didn't stay with him, she said softly. He dumped her after a month. Said it was a mistake. For some reason that didn't make me feel better. It just made me sad. Sad that she'd thrown everything away for something so hollow. Thanks, Lena, I said, forcing a smile. But I don't need to know anymore. And I meant it. A year later I saw her again. It was by accident, at a cafe downtown. She was sitting alone by the window, staring out into the rain. She looked older somehow. Tired. Regret etched into her face. She noticed me, froze, then gave a small, uncertain smile. For a moment I almost walked over. Almost said hi. But then I remembered that night. The red lipstick, the slammed door, the messages that shattered everything. And I realized something. I didn't hate her anymore. I just didn't love her either. So I nodded politely, turned, and walked out into the rain. And for the first time in a long time, felt free. Because sometimes the worst heartbreak isn't the one that destroys you. It's the one that finally sets you free.